What happens when you put Caitlin Clark on national television as an NBA analyst for the very first time? Not a highlight, not a viral clip, not even a nice debut. Something happens that hasn't occurred in more than 2 decades of NBA broadcasting. And what makes this moment even more unbelievable is who is watching and who is quietly being exposed at the same time. Because while Caitlin Clark was shattering television records, earning rave reviews from NBC sports executives, and proving she belongs on the biggest stage in sports media, the WNBA Players Association was busy doing the exact opposite, fumbling the greatest financial opportunity the league has ever seen. The contrast couldn't be...
So the numbers have shown up for Caitlin Clark's debut as an analyst on NBC, and the numbers are ridiculous, man. They ended up dropping the viewership for that game, and this is what it said, man. Sunday nights on NBC are just meant for sports. The network aired the first 2 games of its Sunday night basketball franchise last weekend, and the doubleheader delivered record-setting viewership.
More obvious. And the numbers were so outrageous that NBC executives are already discussing changing how they approach future basketball broadcasts. So what exactly did Caitlin Clark accomplish that had never been done before? And why does her success shine such an uncomfortable spotlight on the people who claim to be protecting women's basketball? Sunday night on NBC has always meant big-time sports. The network launched the first 2 games of its brand-new Sunday night basketball franchise with a Lakers versus Knicks doubleheader at Madison Square Garden. Already one of the most iconic matchups in the NBA. The stage was massive, the audience was national, and the pressure was real. Then Caitlin Clark...
What they were seeing.
It's a different type of buzz, and obviously when LeBron comes to town, it's probably really different, but, you know, Knicks fans are crazy, and I love it. I love people that are passionate about basketball, so it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, you kind of know them inside and out a little bit, Reggie. You've stolen their souls and their hearts with the Knicks fans.
Reg.
You see how you
loves it.
kind of
He's
like
market.
But listen, there's a new... First of all, there's a new shooter from Indiana. See, I'm the 3rd best shooter in the state of Indiana now. Okay. It goes Caitlin, Tyrese, and now myself.
We'll have to get Tyrese's opinion on that. I'm not sure.
Clark walked onto the set. She sat down alongside Reggie Miller, Carmelo Anthony, and Maria Taylor, not as a gimmick and not as a token guest, but as a legitimate basketball voice. From the very first moment, something felt different. This wasn't a nervous athlete testing the waters of television. This wasn't a scripted appearance where producers guide every sentence. Caitlin Clark looked completely comfortable. Comfortable sitting between 2 NBA legends. Comfortable under bright studio lights. Comfortable knowing millions of people were watching. And almost instantly, the chemistry clicked. She didn't try to fit into their world. She created her own space inside it. As the cameras rolled, Clark spoke with confidence, clarity, and authority. She wasn't delivering surface-level takes or cliché talking points. She was breaking down defensive rotations, explaining spacing decisions, and reading offensive actions before they unfolded on screen. Something interesting happened in real time. Reggie Miller started nodding. Carmelo Anthony leaned in. These weren't courtesy reactions. These were NBA legends reacting to someone who knew exactly what she was seeing. Clark spoke basketball fluently, not as a former college star or a women's basketball representative, but as a pure hooper. She belonged. Then came the moment that completely changed the night. The HORSC competition. Caitlin Clark versus Jamal Crawford. Business attire. Live television. No varmopese. No excuses. Clark didn't just participate. She won. She drained threes from deep. She knocked down shots with calm confidence. She beat a former NBA Sixth Man of the Year on national television. The crowd behind us.
Because one of the things he said was like, I'm thinking in my mind, let's keep them quiet. Have you gone into a big game with literally that on your mind, like walking into the arena?
Well, I feel fortunate enough. A lot of the arenas we go into, a lot of people are cheering for our team, which is pretty nice.
NBC executive.
Every make got louder. Every shot felt bigger. Suddenly, millions of viewers weren't watching an analyst anymore. They were watching a star. What sealed it wasn't just the shooting. It was the personality. Clark cracked jokes about her height, teased Reggie Miller,
Unprecedented.
and laughed at her.
Big night the other night when Caitlin Clark joined the pregame for NBC. We're going to see a lot more of her. Yeah, I mean, look, she's a spokesman for Xfinity, and so already part of the Comcast family. We brought her through that, overall deal, and I think she had a good time. She played horse with Jamal the other night, which I think was a fun little segment. And for everything I understand, she enjoyed being on TV with our crew and hope to do it again soon.
The poise under
Herself. Nothing felt forced. Nothing felt rehearsed. Later, she joked on social media that she'd wear stilts next time. That kind of humor matters, because viewers can spot fake energy instantly. Clark wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was just being herself, and that authenticity came through the screen. Behind the scenes, NBC sports executives weren't just enjoying the show. They were evaluating something much bigger. This wasn't a one-night appearance anymore. This was an audition. Producers were taking notes. Executives were making calls. Internal conversations. That's not hype. That's impact. The numbers told the story long before the opinions did. Millions tuned in.
Cordella spoke positively about Clark's debut, noting that she did a good job and handled the role with ease. He highlighted her understanding of the game and her ability to communicate clearly, two qualities that translate well from the court to the broadcast booth. Cordella also made it clear that Clark was well prepared and comfortable in the setting, something that stood out given the size of the audience and the spotlight that comes with an NBA national broadcast.
Inside women's basketball, and it wasn't happening on the court. It was happening behind closed doors, in boardrooms and negotiation meetings where decisions are made that shape the future of an entire league. Clark's NBC debut wasn't just a win for her personally. It was a flashing neon sign showing what women's basketball could become when opportunity meets preparation. Networks didn't have to market her. They didn't have to hype her. They didn't have to explain her importance. Viewers showed up on their own, stayed on their own, and asked for more on their own.
Record-setting viewership. Sunday night's first game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks from Madison Square Garden averaged 4.5 million viewers across NBC and Telemundo. Oh my goodness, 4.5? Making it the most watched Sunday night regular season game since 2002. Oh my goodness, excluding Christmas Day.
But here's the
And
part
yet,
that
at the exact same moment, the WNBA Players Association was doing everything possible to squander that momentum. Instead of capitalizing on the largest surge of interest the league has ever seen, the union leadership drifted toward chaos. Negotiations that should have been historic turned stagnant. Communication broke down. Public messaging became defensive and combative. The same leadership that spent 2 seasons minimizing Caitlin Clark's impact suddenly found themselves sitting on a gold mine they didn't know how to manage. The irony couldn't be sharper. Clark was pulling millions of viewers to NBC without trying.
Even with all that, still 4.5 million? Man, her motion is ridiculous, fam. It's ridiculous. I mean, I remember literally announcing what was going on and showing the videos of what was going on, and people were in the comment section literally telling me, look, I went for Caitlin, but I ended up staying watching the game a little bit. And I think somebody actually said that was their first NBA game that they watched this year. So
the viewership.
Meanwhile, union representatives were sending out vague emails to players, admitting there was no progress, no movement, and no clear strategy. Sophie Cunningham didn't sugarcoat it when she spoke publicly. She called the situation dumb. Not confusing, not complicated, dumb. That word stuck because it reflected what fans were seeing in real time. For years, veteran voices within the league insisted growth was collective. They rejected the idea that one player could move the needle. They dismissed Clark's popularity as media hype, or worse, blamed fans for showing interest. But now the number. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one broadcast, one game, or one player. This is about a moment in time that doesn't come around often. Caitlin Clark didn't ask to be the center of attention, but when the spotlight found her, she didn't flinch. She elevated every room she walked into, every broadcast she joined, and every audience
Breaking
she touched.
numbers.
look, man, Caitlin motion is ridiculous. Anything she puts her hand on, it turns to gold. It's crazy work. It's crazy work, man. And I've never seen this for women's basketball. And this actually goes back to where the NBA was saying they needed Caitlin Clark to come over and shoot in the three-point contest, or at least have that contest against Stephen Curry, because they need her. They need her, man. Their numbers has been dwindling as well. So I can imagine they're thinking like, hey, look, we have a hot commodity. Let's get her over and let's get some viewership going for the All-Star weekend.